Hello, church. As we jump into this next year, what are some of the things that you are prioritizing? What are the goals that you're making, resolutions that you have, or maybe expectations you're holding to? Here's a few things that I think need to be at the forefront of our mind if we're going to call ourselves followers of Jesus. If we bear the name Christian, these have to be at the forefront of our mind. What about the gospel? What about how we spend our time, how we spend our money, how we relate to one another or invest in relationships, let alone how are we investing in our relationship with Jesus? Let's consider these things together in this new series called First Things First, getting our priorities straight. How do we spend our time productively? One of the things that we have to do is go to work. We have a job that we have to have, and so we go to work. And I hope that at that job, we're not wasting anybody's time there, but we're being diligent with the work that we're given even there. We also have work to do around the house. And you ever have those days where you just feel like you haven't been productive at all? And well, certainly that happens. But we are told to be diligent in our work. Proverbs 13 verse 4 says that a sluggard's appetite or a lazy person's appetite is never filled, but the desires of the diligent are fully satisfied. So are we being diligent in what we're supposed to be doing? Proverbs 6:10-11 says, a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest, and poverty will come on you like a thief and scarcity like an armed man. Now, certainly we need to rest, and we'll talk about that in the next video and the gift of rest that God has given us. But talking about work and how it can sometimes turn into being this lazy person, a person that wastes time. Maybe you waste time at work and you're not diligent in your work, or maybe not. But either way, we are called to work. Work is a good thing. God called us to be of service to others. And so we are doing that through our work. We're also told that in Ephesians chapter 4 that we should be working, doing honest work with our own hands so that we may have something to share with anyone in need. So our working is to provide for our own needs, but it's also to, out of our abundance, be able to share it with others. God created us as well to be creative people. Are you stretching your creative and imaginative mind and putting it to use? Or do you have just dreams that continue to get wasted by maybe living through other people's creativity as you watch them on TikTok or YouTube or Facebook or whatever people do these days for social media, and we can get distracted by these things. I know how distracting that technology can be. In fact, I've set up some boundaries and barriers for myself to not waste time on things. I've even tried to be more conscious about how I am being an example to my son, who I recognize is only 8 months old. But if I don't get this sort of stuff figured out now, what sort of example am I going to be to him as he gets older? I've even shifted from reading my Bible on my phone or doing anything that I might consider productive on my phone, because already, I don't know how many of you have kids out there 8 months and younger, but already my son is trying to reach for my phone and kind of is drawn in awe of my phone. And I hate that. I hate that idea that he is drawn in by this and distracted by this and could maybe even stunt his creativity because he'd rather just be entertained than imagine and explore and create himself. So instead of just doing productive things on my phone where he can see that Daddy's world revolves all around this technology, I try to do things away from the phone. I try to do things that when I'm reading my Bible, he sees me reading my Bible, not scrolling on my phone. I try to stop getting caught up in like the YouTube reels and the short videos that people post there and distracted by that. I want to get away from that so that he doesn't see me wasting time, but he sees me being productive. And when he sees me being productive, he doesn't see me being productive on a device that quite often is time wasting. So we have to be a little bit more conscious about how we are spending our time and not getting distracted. How many of us continue to use the phrase like, "Oh, I just don't have time for that." And yet we have time to waste, right? We don't have time to do the things that we want, the things that we enjoy, the things we know would be good for us, whether that is exercise or reading our Bible more or meeting up with friends or going out or whatever it might be that we just don't seem to have time or energy for. Quite often it's because the time that we did have was wasted. So how do we be productive with the time that we're given? How do we be more effective and efficient at work? And how do we view our jobs not just as a means of making money, but a way that we are also contributing to society around us, a way for us to earn more so that we can also give more and out of the abundance that we have been given. See the other videos to talk more about that. So, how are you spending your time productively as you consider putting first things first and getting your priorities straight this year? God bless your week, and we'll see you whenever.